So I come back from vacation and I see somebody redecorated my tower. What's going on, gamers? I have a lot of topics to cover, including the new Trials of Osiris and what to expect. But before we get going, I have just a few shoutouts to give. Now I want to give a shout out to Mace Windu, Jamar Sumter, Clint R, Ryan Ducats, and also Frank Mendez and Cloak of the Dust Torrent for also following me on Twitter. So with the removal of the quiver from the Night Stalker as a temporary fix, Trials of Osiris is back on. Now starting this Friday at 10 AM Pacific, Brother Vance's brand of combat is ready. Now the reason you should be in this fight? Better than 310 light gear. Yeah, stuff that is equivalent to the hard mode King's Fall raid. Now it's recommended you go into this at 290 light or better, but a shot at the gear that good, expect to see a lot of different light levels, at least until you win a few rounds. The reason for that is a new matchmaking system. Now it used to be that Trials would just match you up with someone who was close to you to help prevent internet latency and lagging. That didn't work, so as you win, you'll face teams that have the equivalent number of wins. So if you've pulled 3 wins, you'll hit a team that has done the same. Now this will get pretty sweaty when you're sitting at 8 wins and you need to get that 9th one because your opponent will too. One good change will be how to get your boons from Brother Vance. Now it will be a menu interface on your Trials passage. Now I like this since it will kind of streamline your Trials run. Now just be aware that the boons cannot be applied after you have began your run. Now this will still be a point of going to Brother Vance since Steve will still sell some of the rewards. But Vance will also have some Trials bounties that will kick you legendary marks, kind of like the Iron Banner ones. Now another welcome change will be the stream of rewards post-match as well, if you win. Now Iron Banner Week asked what guns did you think were going to be competitive, and that was because Trials of Osiris is on the way right behind it. Now back then I was thinking more weapon foundries as opposed to weapon archetypes, like say Omelon rifles as opposed to saying just Omelon scouts. But after running all of the archetypes this last Iron Banner, I pretty much came to the conclusion that the best things were pulse rifles. So coming from one level advantage mode disabled into another one, the question is, what pulse rifle do you think will rule Trials? Now one to consider will be the top-notch Red Death. Like I said, I tried everything from legendary autos, Surus regimes, all the way to passable hand cannons like the Hawk Moon, but it just felt like pulse rifles just worked. So Red Death, say a 1,000-yard stare, and a decent heavy. Heavy weapons for Trials would be a little more varied, because back in the first run of the Trials it was nothing but pretty much rocket launchers. Personally, I'm going to go with my Baron's Ambition in the heavy slot since it's very stable and it worked for me pretty well on the Iron Banana. Now let's get into the Festival of the Lost. Now I loved every aspect of this other than one thing. Now that's the Skull Mask. All the masks are really cool and definitely funny, especially if you have some friends to help you out. I saw a gif of a Petrovenge mask and the Warden mask walking behind a guy wearing a Skullless mask, taking him to the guards in front of the Queen's door at the reef. They called it a recreation of Skullless's capture, and then Skullless pulls the Greavy emote. Yeah, that made me laugh. But what's not cool is there is no way, unless you were lucky on your first package of the festival, to get the blue Skull Mask, except to have a chance to buy it through Eververse. Now the packages that you buy on Eververse come with the legendary mask that is random and a few other oddities in it from the festival. Now, this is equivalent to the toy practice called blind bags if you're familiar with those. There is really no limit to how much you could spend if you're after it. It's all up to RNG and luck. Now what would be cool would be a way to get the blue skull by completing say all of the bounties. But you know, it doesn't look like it's going to pan out like that. And speaking of the RNG, now call me crazy, but I almost never get glue to make the mask I already have legendary. And that's the only way to keep them after November 9th. Rare ones are going to disappear from your inventory and the legendary ones are going to be the only ones that you can hold on to. Now if you're sitting on a ton of glue, tell me in the comments because I just want to know if it's just me. I'm missing only about 3 or 4 masks and I have over 15 Jackalites, plenty of the candy, but just 1 glue. So one final thing before I get out of here is something that I was a big supporter of last year. The Extra Life campaign that benefits Children's Miracle Network. Now I've done a lot of different things for Children's Miracle Network before I came to the Destiny community, so it's really cool to me to continue to help the kids within the game that we are all enjoying. Now this will kick off November 7th. Now the details of who is participating is still being finalized, but once I have the list of who's going to participate, I'll let you guys know. But just like last year's charity stream on Twitch, it's going to be good. Well guys, I am out of here and I'm going to go do some trick-or-treating at Zura's house. Hopefully I don't get raisins. But if you like this type of content, just hit the like button, or leave a comment, or if you just want to see some more, hit that subscribe button. But as always guys, have a good one.